Previously, Raon and the village chief were brutally thrown into the wall by the mad blood demon, leaving Ben and Martha in shock. Missed the previous parts? Go back and catch up. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Now, let's dive back into the manhwa. Raon, despite his injuries, summons the strength to push the village chief into Ben's hands, shouting catch. Ben, caught off guard, instinctively grabs the village chief, his eyes wide with surprise. Village chief, Ben exclaims, stunned, as he cradles the village chief's limp form in his arms. Raon's determination is palpable as he orders his friends to retreat. Everyone, get away from here. Despite his obvious pain and injuries, he begins to stand up, his eyes fixed on the mad blood demon. As he reaches for his sword, Martha, Ben, and Raon exchange worried glances, their faces etched with concern. They watch in amazement as Raon prepares to face the mad blood demon alone. Suddenly Raon shouts, take the village chief somewhere safe and run. Raon's furious shout is met with Martha's incredulous response, what are you saying? But before she can react further, the mad blood demon's aura surges, unleashing an overwhelming pressure that strikes fear into the hearts of Martha, Ben, and Raon. The three friends are instantly incapacitated, their bodies forced to kneel on the ground as they struggle to cope with the crushing pressure. Ben, still clutching the village chief, gasps for air. I can't breathe. Raon echoes his sentiment, it's like, my lungs are collapsing. Martha's voice trembles with horror as she asks, just what is this presence? The weight of the mad blood demon's aura is suffocating, leaving them all breathless and paralyzed with fear. As the demon begins to walk towards Ben, Martha, and Raon, his voice drips with sadistic amusement, quite the cute bunch we've got here. Ben, still struggling to breathe, manages to stammer out, that appearance. Ogre armor. His eyes are fixed on the mad blood demon's intimidating form. Raon's voice trembles as she asks, is he an officer of Eden? Her eyes widen in terror as she gazes up at the demon looming over them. The demon's voice is laced with disdain as he asks, you can't even handle my mere presence? You're quite weak, despite bearing the Sieghart name. His words are a harsh jab, exploiting their fears and insecurities. Ben, Martha, and Raon are consumed by terror, their bodies trembling uncontrollably. Raon's fear is palpable as she lets out a faint, terrified whimper, ah. Just as the mad blood demon's presence seems to be crushing their spirits, Raon's thunderous voice shatters the air. Do you all want to die? Snap out of it. His words are a wake-up call, snapping his friends out of their terrified trance. Ben, Martha, and Raon are shocked to hear Raon's voice, their eyes widening in surprise. Raon's commanding tone brooks no argument, he'll kill you all if you just stand there doing nothing. Focus your aura to withstand his spirit and then get out of here. Raon's words are a call to action, urging his friends to tap into their inner reserves of strength and courage. Ben, Raon calls out, his voice firm and commanding, you go to the village and evacuate the villagers. Ben responds with a resolute okay, I'll be back soon, before rushing off to fulfill his task. Raon then turns to Martha and Raon, his eyes burning with determination. Martha, Raon, retreat and prepare for battle. The two friends swiftly draw their swords, their faces set with resolve, as they begin to prepare for the impending fight. Raon's strategic thinking is evident as he cautions them, don't even think about facing him head-on, just keep your eyes on the situation. With that, Martha and Raon take up positions behind Raon, ready to provide support and follow his lead in the battle against the mad blood demon. Raon's words are a powerful reminder, echoing the wise teachings of Instructor Limer. Instructor Limer said it a lot, right? That you have to surpass your limits. This is that time. Now is the time to surpass the limits of your mind and body. With these inspiring words, Raon, Martha, and Raon steel themselves for the battle ahead. They take a deep breath, focus their minds, and prepare their bodies for the ultimate test. The three friends stand united, ready to face the mad blood demon and push beyond their limits. The demon's laughter sends chills down the spines of Raon, Martha, and Raon. His amusement is palpable as he taunts them, hey, I like your spirit, but, do you think surpassing your limits will be enough? The demon's words are laced with condescension, implying that their efforts will be futile against his overwhelming power. Raon's thoughts are a jumble of determination and desperation. He knows that he must protect the recruits and the villagers of Cebu, and that turning back is not an option. He's resolute in his decision to find a way to defeat the mad blood demon, no matter the cost. However, as he gazes out at the demon, he's struck by the overwhelming sense of hopelessness. The task ahead seems insurmountable, like staring into an endless abyss. Even with his past life experiences, Raon doubts his ability to take down the Mad Blood Demon. Just as Raon is consumed by these thoughts, the Mad Blood Demon's voice cuts through the air, his tone laced with curiosity. You were acting like you'd attack me at any moment, but now you're saying you'll stand back and watch the situation? The demon's words are a stark contrast to Raon's inner turmoil, and they serve as a harsh reminder that the demon is still waiting for him to make a move. Not that any of that matters. Mad Blood Demon exclaims with a fierce battle cry. The demon prepares to dash forward, his feet pounding the ground with incredible force. The earth beneath him crumbles, sending rocks and debris flying in all directions. As he charges towards Raon, the Mad Blood Demon declares, "If you won't attack, then I will." He raises his hand, ready to strike, and Raon is caught off guard. Raon's eyes widen in shock as he takes in the Mad Blood Demon's blistering speed. He's speechless, his mind racing to process the demon's sudden acceleration. His thoughts are a jumble of alarm and desperation as he realizes, he's faster than before. Raon unleashes his Thousand Flames technique, 10 flames revolving sky, that revolve around the Mad Blood Demon in a dazzling display of fire and fury. The demon's eyes widen in surprise, and he lets out a grunt of astonishment. But the Mad Blood Demon's surprise is short-lived, as he quickly regains his composure and charges forward through the flames. His voice rings out, "At least the force is decent." He tightens his fist, and with a powerful punch, he shatters through Raon's Thousand Flames technique. The Mad Blood Demon's counterattack is relentless, and he pushes back Raon with incredible force. Raon stumbles backward, his eyes wide with shock and alarm, as he struggles to maintain his footing against the demon's overwhelming power. Raon's thoughts are a jumble of alarm and urgency as he realizes the Mad Blood Demon has pierced through his Thousand Flames technique and is now pushing forward with relentless force. Kook! I have to redirect his attack. With lightning-quick reflexes, Raon leaps away from the Mad Blood Demon's fist, narrowly avoiding the blow. However, the demon's fist still crashes into the ground mere inches from Raon, shattering the earth and sending rocks flying in all directions. The impact is tremendous, and the ground trembles beneath Raon's feet. He struggles to maintain his balance, his eyes fixed intently on the Mad Blood Demon as he prepares for the next attack. Raon's thoughts continue to racing with a mix of relief and trepidation. I just barely managed to divert his attack. If I hadn't managed to read his attack's flow with the Ring of Fire, then I'd be dead. He can't help but shudder at the thought of how close he came to disaster. Despite the narrow escape, Raon knows he can't afford to retreat just yet. His determination and sense of responsibility drive him to press on, no matter the danger. I want to retreat here, but I can't do that yet. The weight of his responsibilities, particularly protecting his friends and the villagers, keeps him anchored to the battlefield. With a deep breath, Raon focuses his mind and prepares for the next challenge. His eyes locked onto the Mad Blood Demon, he thinks to himself, I have to give the guys watching this fight even just one more thing to observe. With that, our chances of survival will go up 10, no, even just 1%. With renewed determination, Raon charges forward, his flame aura blazing around him. The Mad Blood Demon greets him with a maniacal smile, clearly relishing the opportunity to toy with Raon. Yes, that's it, he exclaims, pushing off the ground with one leg to launch himself into the air. As the Mad Blood Demon soars towards Raon, flames that go out with one punch are no fun at all, he declares, his voice dripping with sadistic pleasure. Raon covers his face to avoid the force of the Mad Blood Demon's jump, but he knows he can't keep dodging forever. As the demon raises his hand to punch Raon, he lets out a blood-curdling cry, "Entertain me more." Raon's eyes widen in surprise as he gazes up at the Mad Blood Demon, who is mere moments away from delivering a crushing blow. With lightning-quick reflexes, Raon springs into action, jumping away from the punch at the last possible instant. The Mad Blood Demon's fist slams into the ground, mere inches from Raon's face, sending shockwaves through the earth. The force of the punch is so immense that it creates a massive hole in the ground, causing the surrounding soil to crumble and sending debris flying in all directions. The sound of the punch echoes through the forest, a deafening boom that sends birds fleeing in terror. The air is filled with dust and debris, reducing visibility to near zero. Raon, still reeling from his narrow escape, struggles to catch his breath and regain his footing. As Raon kneels on the ground, exhausted and holding his sword, the Mad Blood Demon sits calmly, a sly grin spreading across his face. Those flames are on a different level from ordinary aura, he says, his voice dripping with amusement. However stupid he was, I thought it odd that the Green War Demon would have fallen. But with that power, now I can understand. The Mad Blood Demon's words are laced with condescension, and he seems to be savoring the moment. However, that makes this all the more pitiful. He continues, his grin growing wider. I cannot be harmed by fire. Do you know why? The demon's question hangs in the air, a challenge to Raon's already battered and exhausted body. Raon's voice trembles as he responds, his exhaustion and fear evident in his words. Of course, the helmet you're wearing, it has the trait of the ogre. The narrator's voice takes over, explaining the legend of the ogre. Ogre, the king of the forest, they are not harmed by blazing forest fires, and fiercely protect their territory. These monsters are unfazed by torrents of fire arrows hitting them as they tear down castles. The narrator's words paint a vivid picture of the ogre's formidable reputation, highlighting their immunity to fire and their fearsome protective instincts. The image of an ogre tearing down castles, unfazed by flames, is a testament to their legendary strength. Raon, still kneeling on the ground, looks up at the Mad Blood Demon with a mix of defiance and desperation. You can use the ogre's trait for yourself, he says, his voice laced with a hint of challenge. The Mad Blood Demon's voice drips with condescension as he speaks. Then you must be well aware that however much aura you use, it will still be useless against me. What a pity. Raon's eyes narrow, his jaw clenched in determination. Raon's voice rings out, filled with a newfound sense of determination. If fire doesn't work, then I can just use something else. The Mad Blood Demon's grin falters, his eyes widening in surprise. He takes a step back, his voice tinged with curiosity. What? He asks, his tone dripping with skepticism. As Raon releases his cold aura, the air around him seems to chill, and his sword shines with an icy glow. The Mad Blood Demon's eyes widen in shock, his mind racing to comprehend the implications of Raon's abilities. Wait, that cold is... The Mad Blood Demon trails off, his voice filled with incredulity. He takes a step back, his eyes fixed intently on Raon. I was already surprised by your unreasonable fire-attributed aura. But you can actually use aura of multiple attributes at the same level? The Mad Blood Demon's words are laced with a mix of shock, curiosity, and even a hint of admiration. He seems to be re-evaluating Raon's abilities, his initial underestimation giving way to a deeper understanding of the young warrior's capabilities. Your capacity for attributes and skill with the sword at that age. Just who are you? The Mad Blood Demon asks, his voice filled with a sense of wonder. Raon, meanwhile, stands calmly, his cold aura swirling around him. He gazes at the Mad Blood Demon with a focused intensity, his sword at the ready. Raon's voice is firm and resolute as he responds, is there any need for you to know? You'll die soon at my hand either way. His words are laced with a quiet confidence, a sense of determination that he will emerge victorious. The Mad Blood Demon's laughter echoes through the air, a deep, menacing sound. Hee, how arrogant, he says, his eyes glinting with amusement. With a fierce battle cry, Raon leaps off the ground, his sword flashing in the dim light as he channels the cold aura. The air around him seems to shimmer with icy energy, and his sword shines with a frosty glow. The Mad Blood Demon, undaunted by Raon's sudden attack, raises his massive fist, dark aura swirling around it like a vortex. His eyes blaze with malevolent intent as he speaks, his voice dripping with malice. Let's see how long you can keep that attitude. The scene shifted to Ben and his group. As they run, the sounds of intense battle grow louder, and the air is filled with the acrid smell of dust and smoke. Ben's voice rings out, concern etched on his face. Hey, are you guys alright? But before he can finish his sentence, he's left speechless. His eyes widen in astonishment as he takes in the scene before him. Raon and the Mad Blood Demon are locked in a fierce battle, their auras clashing in a spectacular display of energy. What leaves Ben speechless, however, is the fact that Raon is holding his own against the Mad Blood Demon. The two combatants are evenly matched, their movements a blur as they exchange blows. Ben's eyes dart back and forth, struggling to keep up with the intensity of the battle. Ben's eyes remain fixed on Raon, his mind racing with the implications of what he's witnessing. That aura, it's not the fire he normally uses. It's a cold aura, he thinks to himself, his inner voice laced with incredulity. As he watches Raon's fluid movements, Ben's thoughts continue to spiral. He can use two different kinds of aura. His aura burst and swordsmanship on top of that. Just when did he reach sword expert? Ben's mental calculations are a testament to his own expertise and knowledge. The chapter concludes with Ben's final thought. If you want more chapter, comment below. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Thanks for watching.